Okay, first I want to start by talking about the different kinds of angles that we have in this problem. First, it says, use the figure below to identify each one of the following. Sorry about my dog. A straight angle, so the first term, straight angle, right angle, acute angle, obtuse, a pair of complementary, a pair of supplementary, and a pair of vertical angles. Okay, so let's start with a straight angle. This is an angle that measures 180 degrees. If you look above, a straight angle forms a line, straight line. Okay, a right angle measures exactly 90 degrees. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees. An obtuse angle is more than 90 degrees. Complementary angles, they together, this is a pair that add to 90 degrees. Supplementary is a pair that add to 180 degrees. And finally, vertical angles are formed by intersecting lines. So let me help you with the vertical angles last. I think a lot of these words are familiar to you, except for maybe vertical angles. So let's work through this, okay? So first we want a straight angle. So I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of notes. We want a straight angle. We want a right angle, and I'm going to do one of each. An acute angle. That doesn't mean that there's only one of each in all of the images. Okay, and an obtuse angle. So these are going to be individuals. Those are the four things we're looking for individually. And then in terms of pairs, we're looking for a pair that's complementary. So that's going to be 2. We're looking for a pair that's supplementary. It's going to be another 2. And then we're also going to look for a pair of vertical angles. Okay, so we're going to go for the stuff on the left-hand side first. A straight angle is an angle that forms 180 degrees. So I have in this very first image right here, a clear image of a straight angle. That would be hold on, my pen didn't want to do what I wanted it to do. That'd be A to B to C. That is a straight angle. So that'd be angle A, B, C, because it measures 180 degrees. Let's keep going. A right angle would measure 90 degrees. So here, this, though not stated, should have a chair sitting right there to say this is 90 degrees. That is meant to be a right angle. I apologize that it's not stated there. So we're going to claim that angle EFG is in fact a right angle, based on the definition being that it should equal 90 degrees. Okay, now acute and obtuse have to do with being more or less than 90 degrees. So right here, I can see that this angle measure is 22, and that's less than 90 degrees. So what we want to do is choose one of the angles in this picture here on the right side that I just labeled less than 90 degrees. We're going to choose that angle that we know is only 22 degrees and call it acute, because we know 22 is definitely less than 90. So one of the acute angles in the picture is angle HFG. Obtuse means an angle that's greater than 90 degrees. So any angle in any one of these images that is greater than 90 degrees or larger than a right angle. So I'm going back up to the first image with the letters A, B, C, D in them, because while I know that a straight angle is greater than 90, I can also see that this angle, ABD, is larger than 90 degrees because it is greater than a right angle. So we can say that angle ABD we know is obtuse because it has to be larger than 90 degrees. Okay, finally, we're over on the right-hand side and we're looking at the terms complementary, supplementary, and vertical. So let me delete, I'm going to erase what we've got here so far so that we can work on what's on the right-hand side. Remember, complementary, if you look up into our definitions, says that it's a pair of angles that sum to 90 degrees. Now remember, we had this little chair here saying that we were assuming this was supposed to be a 90-degree angle. That should have been explicitly stated. So we know that the two angles forming this image are complementary. So we need to name them separately. So the pair of complementary angles, because together they form a 90-degree angle, would be angle EFH. Notice I'm always naming the vertex in the middle as the middle letter. And the other angle that is complementary to EFH is angle HFG. Okay? Those two are complementary because together they sum to 90 degrees. Supplementary means together they sum to 180 degrees. So while some of you are looking at the very first example, A, B, C, and D, those letters, I'm actually going to look at this example here because this is also a straight angle, IMJ. And so I know that this angle plus this angle must sum to 180 degrees. So those two are supplementary. So let's go ahead and write that together. That would be angle IML and angle LMJ. So those two are supplementary. And finally, vertical angles are a little tricky because they're formed by intersecting lines. So I'm erasing again because there's actually two pairs of vertical angles here. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put an arrow because we're going to write the answers in this big white space here. So I'm going to use the picture to show you. The first pair of vertical angles is right here. This angle and the angle opposite it. That's one pair of vertical angles formed by those two lines intersecting. The other pair of vertical angles formed is right here and here. The other two opposite angles formed are considered vertical angles. So we actually have two pairs of vertical angles in this image. Let's write both pairs. The first would be angle IMJ and angle JMK. Remember, these are my vertical angles that I'm putting right here in the middle of the page. Okay? And the other set I'm going to do in pink to match the pink on the picture. The final set of vertical angles is angle LMJ and angle KMI. So remember, every time I name an angle, I'm very careful to use the vertex or the center point as the middle letter for the naming convention. Otherwise, I go and approach this with what is the definition? What does straight mean? What is right? What is acute? What is complementary? Etc. And I use that to move forward. Hopefully this video helps.